Hey, thanks, Derek. So you go ahead to the next slide. So you maybe, and it's been mentioned in a few of the CS updates, passing that there are Spark CCs projects, and they're labeled from work stream 1 through work stream 7, and some of them have A's and B's. So I just at least wanted to let you know if you hear of synergies projects, work stream 1, work stream 4. The two I'm involved with are work stream 1 and work stream 4, and now it's work stream 4A and B. So um, and what I want to do is just highlight these programs to make sure you're aware of them. And then also on the next slide, I'll show where there's opportunities for us to really work together and share leads and share information. But so with Workstream 1, Spirax Sarco is coming across a lot of opportunities with their customers in institutions, which is, basically universities, healthcare, and then also in the food and beverage sector, and then, other, medical, type sectors that, Chromalox really historically hasn't been in. So they were already in those sectors, and they were having customers reaching out to them saying, hey, I'd like an electric, steam generator option. Primarily first it was the CSSB, right? Because they're working in sterilization and humidification applications, which needed clean steam. So the CSSB was, a natural, fit to what Spirax's customers were looking for. So we released that product in April to them. So in North America is the pilot, and ideally we'll then have that available to Spirax Sarco globally. So basically they're buying and reselling CSSBs, and now the CES was launched a couple weeks ago, and allowing Spirax to buy them from the Mexico plant direct and then resell them to their customers. That said, you can see this picture, and that's the same one of the same pictures Derek just showed of a CES 180 unit installed in Houston, Texas, at their facility. They basically had all the power to it, filled up the unit, and they wanted to know exactly how fast it started up, because I believe in some of the other earlier trainings we've done with Spirax dating back to last year, that based off of Mark Wheeler and I's presentation about medium voltage steam generation, Spirax was it was like, how fast does it generate steam, right? Was the question, and Mark's like, 10 minutes or less. Well, I'm happy to say that particular 180 kW CES unit started generating steam in 4.5 minutes timed. So they were very, very impressed with it, and with the ease of operation. So again, while these programs are Spirax programs, right, they're learning and getting used to working with Chromalox, and they're starting to realize that, that, hey, these guys really do have 104 years of experience, and starting to lean on us and starting to get more opportunities from these programs that then we can then spread to the rest of the Chromalox community. So again, just want to touch on Workstream 1 and what that means. And then Workstream 4A and 4B were split due to where they were in terms of product development. So Workstream 4A is what Spirax Sarco is calling a thermal battery, but there's been debate as to what the final name will be. Basically what it is, it basically utilizes off-peak or say excess solar. The unit there on the far left, you can see it almost looks like a big storage vessel with a little Chromalox heater hanging off the bottom of it. That's exactly what it is. It's installed right now in at a healthcare tech center in the UK, and they're buying Chromalox heaters and panels, and it's a Spirax product. It's basically an immersion heater with, it's basically a steam accumulator with an immersion heater in it. But it allows customers to store heat energy in the form of either hot water or steam, and then be able to dispense that at any time. So as of right now, that is a Spirax branded product, but there is plans in the future, right, for that to be available here in the United States and elsewhere to other folks as well. And then also to the right of that, you see a small picture of a little vertical unit. That's kind of the smaller commercialized version of the other large storage unit. And then at the far right is what we call one of many potential retrofits. So as we have customers, looking to decarbonize and either switch or supplement their fossil fuel fired steam generation, We have a few different retrofit designs that we're currently testing in Ogden, Utah right now. Again, not necessarily ready for the public right now, but what this is showing is we're no longer just, oh, Spirex is our owner, and they have an electric heater company, right? They see the value in pulling in Chromalox, and like Derek mentioned earlier in his part of the presentation, Spirex used to be everything but the boiler, right? They were boiler technology agnostic. They didn't care if it was a gas-fired boiler, a fuel-fired boiler, an electrode, or a resistive. They cared about everything but. But now, realizing that Chromalox has a level of expertise and value that we can bring to customers with low and medium voltage steam generation, there's been a lot of opportunities, and I see that really growing and pushing out much more, to the Chromalox community, as we start to develop these products further and get them to market. So more to come on that, especially on some of the retrofits. And if you guys tuned in on Wednesday to the now monthly EPS growth strategy updates, Armando had mentioned the project for Enwave, and I just kind of wanted to touch on this a little bit because this is something that we can work on right now, and as you can see, is already being done. So this lead came about from the Spirax Sarco sales team in Canada. They've got a good working relationship already with Raja and the rest of the team there up in Canada. Yeah, the Chromalox team. The lead was passed over because it was just a hot water generator, right? But large, 6.9 megawatt. So it was hot water. Spark says, hey, we're steam, Chromalox, you guys go with it. But Enwave, the customer, came back through to Spirax because they have an alliance agreement already with Enwave, both in the US and Canada. Spirax does, where they basically give them a list of products and a price list, and Enwave, each project they get, all that goes right to Spirax Sarco. Spirax Sarco doesn't bid on any Enwave projects; they just get the business, which is really nice. So long story short, Enwave actually asked Chromalox if we wanted to set up a separate alliance agreement with them because they realized that all of our equipment is kind of more customized than maybe what Spirax does. So we did go back and forth with them. We've signed the alliance agreement with Enwave, and we do expect an order in the next few weeks for the first of two 6.9 megawatt units that are supposed to be ordered in 2021. They're forecasting at least 3 in 2022 and more further out from that. And based on what Armando presented and what they do, basically Enwave does district heating. So when you go to areas downtown, especially in Canada, where it's big, basically there'll be currently one gas-fired hot water or steam generator dedicated to 3 or 4 or 5, depending on the size, high-rise buildings. So essentially, there are thousands of those gas-fired steam generators in Canada alone, not even just in the United States, and that eventually will need to be phased out. So when we talk about sustainable energy and these types of applications, right, and why we get so excited about them, is that there is a tremendous upside for Chromalox and also for Spirax Sarco, right? Especially if it's a steam generator, right, that does district heating. Like the one in Vancouver we're looking at. So more to come on that as well. But what the takeaway is that right now today, you can work hand in hand, with your local Spirax office, and they've got great products and great support. We've got great products, great support. So if it involves steam, and you don't know your local, Spirax guy, I would start to try to make those relationships as we become more of a group, right, rather than separate companies.